Hi, I'm Carrie Michael. I have a practice for you today that will help with relief of migraine and tension headaches. A lot of this is going to be about releasing tension in the neck, the shoulders, across the back and the hips. So hopefully practicing this will give you some relief. A lot of it is going to be restorative, so that means passive poses held for longer periods of time. I'm going to use a few props for this practice. So I have a bolster here. If you don't have a bolster at home, you can use a couple of firm pillows or a cushion from the couch. Those will stand in just fine. I've also got a block over here. A thick book or two will stand in just fine for a block. And I've got a blanket, which any blanket that you have at your house will work just fine. So we're going to start out with a few gentle stretches and then some breathing exercises. We'll move into a few restorative poses, and we're going to end with our legs up the wall. So if you want to go ahead and pause this video and get to a place where you've got some wall space that you can put your legs up on, that'd be good. And we'll go ahead and get started. So we're going to start out with a little bit of breath work, and I'm going to sit on my bolster for that. So if it's a little more comfortable for you to sit on a pillow or a blanket or a cushion, I invite you to do that. I'm going to do that right now. All right, so come to an easy seat. Just sit up nice and tall. Sit bones grounded, spine nice and long, chest lifted, chin slightly tucked. And just come into your breath. Just breathing really naturally here. No need to change the breath in any way. Inhale here. And exhale. Just let the chin drop toward the chest and just make nice big rolls, kind of head rolls. So stretching through the neck, and if there's any place that feels like maybe you want to linger there a little, it needs a little extra love, I invite you to do that. And switch directions. Going slowly, you don't want to get dizzy. And inhale, come on back to center. Now from here, sit up nice and tall, bring the right arm up, bend the elbow, and just place the left fingertips on top of the right fingertips on top of the left ear. Lower the shoulders away from the ears. Inhale here, and exhale. Just start to bring the right ear toward the right shoulder. Now you're not pressing down with the right hand into the ear. You're just letting the fingertips rest gently on top of the ear and then kind of acting like you're going to touch your right ear to your shoulder. And you should feel a nice stretch through the neck. If you want to feel that a little more, feel free to take the left arm out at a diagonal like you're trying to reach and pick up something on the ground. Inhale, come back to center and switch. So my left arm comes up, bend the elbow, place the left fingertips on top of the right ear, lower the shoulders away from the ears, and then start to lower the left ear toward the left shoulder. Feel that stretch in the right arm. And reach out. Inhale, back to center, and release. So from there, we're going to do a little stretch through the broadest part of the back between the shoulder blades. So inhale, bring the arms out to a T, maybe even bring the wrists behind you, lift the chest, lift the chin. And exhale, bring both arms in front of you. Place the left elbow inside of the right, and then bend both elbows and catch the hands. Inhale, elbows away from the chest and wrists away from the face. I've just got a hold of my thumb here. Maybe you can grab your wrist, or you just hold your hands close together like this. All of that's fine. And then bring your attention to that space between the shoulder blades and round slightly through that space. So just releasing lots of tension in the upper back. Inhale here. And then exhale, bow forward. Nice stretch through the back. Inhale, come on back up. And exhale to release, shake that out. And we'll do the other side. So inhale, bring the arms out to a T, wrists come back, shoulder blades together, lift the chest, lift the chin. And exhale, bring both arms together, right elbow fits inside of the left. Gather up the hands, inhale, elbows away from the chest, wrists away from the face. And breathe here. Inhale here, and exhale, bow down, hinging at the waist, separating through between the shoulder blades, so making lots of space there. Inhale, come back to center, and exhale to release, shake that out. Inhale, bring the arms up, and interlace the fingers. Exhale, palms toward the ceiling, like you're trying to press your palms against the ceiling. So you're getting nice and long between both sides of the waist. Just getting super tall. Shoulders away from the ears. Inhale here. And exhale, bring the right arm down, reach over with the left arm, getting nice and long in the left side body. Before I sit for breathing, I like to make as much space as possible. So we're just kind of creating lots of space for breath, separating the rib cage here. Inhale, arms come up. And exhale, switch sides. Left hand comes down, right arm goes over. Maybe your gaze is under the right arm. Maybe you twist a little bit. Whatever feels good to you here and makes lots and lots of space, that's what we're going for. Inhale, come back to center, and exhale. Now we're ready to sit for a little bit of breath work. So again, sitting nice and firmly on your cushion or your blanket, or on or just on your mat is fine. But you want your spine to be nice and long, and we've created lots of space in the in the side waist and in the chest. So the first breathing technique that we're going to do is called Bromari, or Bumblebee breath. And it's very simple to do. The way that's done is, first thing, take your hands and just place your fingertips gently on your face, like so. The thumbs will just go rest inside your ears. So it's almost like, you're not putting your thumbs in your ears, but you're sort of covering your ears to kind of limit the outside sound that you can hear. So I've got my fingertips resting gently on my face. And then inhale here. And exhale is a hum. Inhale. And exhale. One more time, inhale. And just release the hands. You can just bring the hands down gently to your lap. Take a couple breaths here. And just notice. The next breathing technique that we're going to do is called a 3-part breath. So called because the inhale comes in 3 parts in this particular version. So in order to illustrate this, go ahead and place your right hand on your belly and your left hand on your chest. And just take a couple of breaths here and notice how your belly kind of rises and the hand moves out on the inhale. And then maybe the chest lifts and opens. And then on the exhale, the chest kind of contracts and the belly contracts. Just take a couple of breaths and sort of make the connection there. The rise and fall of the belly. Maybe slightly subtler, the rise and fall of the chest. Good. Okay, so once you've made that connection, 3-part breath will make a little more sense. So, again, the inhale comes in 3 parts. A third of the inhale is focused on the belly. So, you'll feel the belly expand and maybe the hand will lift up on that third of the inhale. Then the next third will be into the chest. The chest will lift, maybe your hand will move there. And the remaining third, inhale into your collarbones. This helps the inhale come all the way up the front half of the body. And then the exhale will just be a regular exhale with no pauses. So it looks like this. Inhale into the belly, into the chest, into the collarbones, and exhale. Inhale a third of the way into the belly, and a third into the chest, third into the collarbone, and exhale. So just continue this on your own breath. Belly, chest, collarbone, and release. Belly, chest, collarbone, and exhale. And then see if you can keep them fluid, so it's just belly, chest, collarbone, and release. Maybe one more full round, inhaling into the belly, then the chest, then the collarbone, and release. And you can just let your hands rest in your lap. Take a couple of natural breaths and just notice how you feel. So we're going to start some poses now, and the first pose that we're going to have is a supported child's pose. So I'm going to use my bolster for that. Come on down to the mat, and then take the bolster and place it along the length of your mat. I'm going to come into all fours here and then bring the big toes together. Maybe take the knees a little wider apart and then bring the hips down toward the heels. Now the bolster is just, the base of the bolster is kind of between my knees. I'm going to come on down and rest on the bolster. Now, maybe you like this and maybe you don't love it. If you don't love it, it might be better for you to elevate this bolster a little bit. So you can always make a ramp with your block or another pillow or your folded blanket. And that way you come down, it's a little, it's a little raised up, and this can be very, very comfortable too. So whichever is your preference, go ahead and find a pose that feels restful to you. And just allow your hands and arms to be wherever they're comfortable. Kind of go under here with mine. And then you come onto one cheek or the other. And we're going to hold this pose here. So I'll mind the time. You just make yourself comfortable. And then when you find a place that you'd like to hold and you're happy, then inhale here. And exhale, let it go. And just return to the breath. Allow yourself to be completely supported by the bolster. On an inhale, just lift your head up and switch sides so you're changing onto the other cheek to hold here. Inhale deeply here. And exhale. seconds here. Just start to deepen your breath. And then inhale, press up. And we'll move the bolster out of the way. We'll use it again. But for now, just come to all fours for a few rounds of cat and cow. So, wrists directly beneath the shoulders, knees directly beneath the hips. Inhale, drop the belly, lift the chest, tilt the pelvis up and look up. And exhale, round the spine, tuck the pelvis in. The gaze can be towards your thighs, but if this is aggravating to your headache, it's okay to leave your head up a little bit. Inhale, drop the belly, lift the chest, look up. Exhale, round the spine. Inhale, drop the belly, lift the chest. And exhale. Just a couple more rounds like this. Inhale and exhale. And one more. Inhale to cow and exhale to cat. Inhale, come on back to center and come around to seated for a forward bend. So bring your legs out to a straddle, and this one is done. Bring the bottom of your left foot to the inside of the right leg. And then inhale, sit up nice and tall. So the sit bones are ground into the mat. Spine is nice and long. Now turn your chest and shoulders about a quarter turn, hinging at the waist. So just like this, a quarter turn so that you are facing the leg. Inhale, sit up nice and tall, spine is nice and long, and then exhale, hinge forward at the hip. You can grab onto the ankle or the foot or place your hands on the floor or really anywhere that works for you. And then once you've come down as far as you're going with a straight spine, it's fine to round into it. Just allow yourself to rest so the spine can round, let the head rest. Breathe here. We won't hold this one as long as we did the child's pose, but for several breaths. So just nice, easy breaths here. Releasing tension in the hips, the back, the neck. Inhale to slowly walk yourself back up and face forward, and we'll switch sides. So the left leg comes out, bottom of the right foot to the inside of the left leg. Ground the sit bones into the mat. Inhale, sit up nice and tall. Chest and shoulders rotate about a quarter turn so that your torso is coming straight down onto that left leg. Inhale, nice long spine, and exhale, hinge forward. Grabbing whatever you're gonna grab, right? Or just hands on the ground. And then round into it. Inhale here. And exhale. One more full breath here. And inhale, walk yourself back up to center. And for this next pose, you'll want to block. It's a supported bridge pose. So come on down to your back. And we'll start with knees bent, feet placed firmly on the mat, about hip distance apart. The back is just flat along the mat. Bring your shoulder blades up underneath you. Walk the heels maybe a little closer to the seat, and then inhale. Press your feet into the mat. Lift the hips up off the mat. And then you're going to take your block and place it directly underneath your sacrum, that kind of flat part of your back at the bottom where the back meets, where the spine meets the hips. So from here, just make sure that you are on the block so that when you let go, that feels pretty comfortable. It feels nice and flat. And then from here, just extend the legs long. So they don't have to be together. You can have the legs a little bit apart. Just let the feet and ankles drop open. Allow yourself to be comfortable here. Just allow your hips to be supported by the block underneath you. And then inhale deeply here. And exhale to release. We're going to hold here. Now, if having your head right on the mat like this doesn't feel good, feel free to carefully slide a pillow or a blanket underneath for a little support. Continuing to breathe just a natural breath through the nostrils. Final seconds here. Just take a couple of nice deep breaths. Just kind of bringing your awareness back into your body. And then on an inhale, bend the knees, place the feet back down on the mat about hip distance apart. And on an inhale, press the feet into the mat, lift the hips up, and exhale, roll down with the spine. Good. And then you can leave that blanket there for a little softness under your head if you like. And then on an inhale, bring both knees into the chest. And exhale, take both knees out to the right. I'm going to move my block out of the way. Now, depending on whether your neck will tolerate it, you can either keep your neck towards the ceiling, like with your gaze toward the ceiling, or you can take your gaze out to the left. And if that feels good to you, a nice spinal twist here. Again, helping to release tension in the back. One more full breath here. And inhale, come on back to center. And exhale to switch. Bring both knees out to the left. Arms just out to a T. The gaze can either be up toward the ceiling or out to the right. Inhale here. And exhale. And just continue to breathe here. Nice full breaths. One more full breath here. And inhale, come on back to center. All right, we've got one last pose during this practice, and it is a legs up the wall posture. So for this one, go to your wall. I'm going to take my mat with me. And just place the mat lengthwise, like perpendicular to the wall. And I think the easiest way to get up the wall, you want to have your blanket or a pillow handy in case you want that under your head. I think the easiest way to get up the wall is to sit alongside the wall, kind of with one hip up the wall, right? So my hip is up the wall, like I'm trying to climb the wall with my hip. And then ease myself back down so the legs come up the wall. And I just gently ease myself onto my mat so that my body now, is kind of forming an L shape. My seat is flush against the wall. So the whole purpose of getting that hip up the wall and doing all that rigmarole is just to make sure that my legs are completely supported by the wall. The seat is is flush against the base of the wall where the wall meets the floor, and then my back supported by the floor. Again, if this is bothering your head or just feels like you want a little softness there, feel free to bring a blanket or a pillow and just make yourself comfortable. Arms out to your sides. You can flip the palms up if that helps the shoulders release, or if it feels more grounding to have them down. That's okay too, it's your preference. If you need your hips elevated, you can also place a bolster or a block underneath the hips and do this with the hips slightly elevated. And then once you find kind of your happy place here, inhale here. And exhale, let it go. This posture is a restorative inversion. It helps lower the blood pressure and balance the nervous system. And it's just deeply relaxing. Final seconds here. Start to deepen your breath. Inhale here. Achoo. And exhale. Go ahead and just come on, roll onto one side. Maybe linger there for just a moment. Press yourself up to a seated position and make your way onto your back for Shavasana. This will be the final posture. This is our resting posture. And you can take this posture for as long as you like. So come on down to your back. Maybe take your little soft blanket with you. Maybe you like a bolster underneath your knees. You can do that or not, or just lie flat on your mat.
If you like a bolster, just place it under your knees like so, and then come on down. And get comfortable. Let your shoulder blades come up underneath you. Just allow your shoulders to sink into the mat. Ankles to either corner of the front of the mat, and just allow the feet and ankles to drop open. Take one nice, long, slow, deep breath in. And sigh it out. Allow yourself to settle. Soften the bottoms of your feet, the tops of your feet, the toes. Soften the backs of your legs. Soften your knees. Let your thighs and hips sink. Let your belly be soft. Just let your breath be easy in your chest. Your shoulders sink into the mat. Let your arms be heavy, soften your fingers. Soften your throat. Release your jaw. Soften your forehead, your cheeks, your cheekbones. Just allow your eyes to sink heavy in their sockets. Let your temples drop. Let your head be heavy. Slowly come back. Wiggle your fingers and toes. Bring gentle movement to your ankles and wrists. Gently rock your head from side to side. When you're ready, just roll to one side. And linger there for just a moment. Before pressing yourself up to a seated position. Thank you so much for doing this practice with me. Hopefully this will give you some relief from migraine and tension headaches. I certainly hope that it does. Thanks so much for joining me. Om Shanti.